on a pause. There's many reasons, but a couple problem I could give you tonight is the cost of material right at this point is through the roof. If anybody took on a project like this, it'd probably be double the cost in normal times. And also, we're in the middle of this pandemic. Everybody I talk to, they have somebody in their family sick. I'm sure these contractors, they're not in the best shape either. And the other thing is, there's only probably 3 contractors around here that do this work. So I think the prices would, at this time, would be through the roof. And the other thing I like to request is if the town could look for any kind of grants or community development block grants maybe around, or some low-cost loans for people to apply for these projects. My particular bulkhead is really like a one-day job. I don't have a problem with mine, but some of these, I've seen the report. I realize there's a ton of work has to be done in the town, with bulkheads. They're in rough shape. I mean, a lot of them are in town where we're going to have this so-called Stavola project, which should take care of a lot of that on that list. But it's the individual homeowners that are going to have a problem with this. So I just want you to give some thought to that. And while I'm here, I might as well mention one other thing. I get a lot of mail from real estate agents, which I'm sure you all do, about selling our houses, which, I want to live here. I've been here since 1980. I ain't planning on going anywhere. But some of the mailing that comes in north, 908 North Ocean Ave, we're getting this, that could divide the town north and south. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
I'm sure the town ain't doing it, but it's some of these realtors, I don't know where they're getting off. And I lived for 40 years in Edison, and the same thing happened. They had North Edison and South Edison. It really was one town. They kind of split it up. Them against us, And, I don't know if anything the council can do about that. If I see any of these realtors, I'll give them a piece of money. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ed. Yeah, we'll take, you're the person of 3 people so far, so we'll take that into serious consideration of those bulkhead ordinance and the timing of it. And I agree, I know it's personally that supplies are went up, and it's a pretty tough time to do a major construction project. And then separately, I do think we can just talk to, I don't know if there are any grants available, but if we were pursuing, maybe we could check, maybe discuss with Frank or whoever to pursue that and see if there's anything available. But besides that, we'll definitely discuss it, including at the next workshop. We'll get an agenda regarding the ordinance and the time frame and everything else.
Mayor, Mr. Hernandez, I appreciate the question.
Sure.
It's real, I haven't mentioned, but I appreciate the thank you for your service to the town. I have a question, given your experience, what would you say would be a fair window of time or a particular date that would be fair to give folks a realistic opportunity to be able to complete the work?
Well, I would say at least a year. Put it on hold and see what that brings up. I think hopefully next year is going to be I know that the price of this material should go down. Like all lumber, building materials, they're at the top right now. And they're going to start coming down. So I think if you had at least a clause of a year and then revisit it, see what it looks like. Hopefully, I think a lot of these people, some of these permits are going to take a year to get. If you need a capital permit today, it takes almost a year to get one. Minor repairs and stuff, you don't need the permits. But for a whole new bulkhead, you would. And you got to hire an engineer. It's a whole process. So it takes time.
Your feedback, and I think it's valuable. So I appreciate your offering that level of training.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Anybody online, maybe?
I'll chime in. This is Charlie Bruni,
Hey, Charlie.
196 Ocean Avenue, Steve Wright, New Jersey. Well, I'm going to speak a little bit about the bulkhead ordinance too. I think it's a great idea to have our homeowners bring their bulkheads up to snuff. I mean, it's a big deal to protect us from the river. However, this is a difficult time to do that kind of stuff. I know this past summer I built a dock that it wound up costing twice as much as I had expected because of the prices of oil material these days. And material is very difficult to get. Half a permit difficult to get. People are working from home that work with the capital permits, and a lot of stuff is very delayed. I think it's a really good idea to work with the residents in a manner, I guess, something similar to what Ed just said, with the time frame. But the residents need to know that the town is serious. They want the bulkheads repaired. But we got to do it in a way, I think, that works with our residents so that they understand. We just want to get the bulkheads fixed up. Some of them are in pretty bad shape. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
Wait, is this something that is set for discussion in the following meeting?
Yeah, we'll discuss it. All right, is there anybody else online who'd like to be heard? All right, we'll go on to individual action. So, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the 2021 meeting minutes? 22.
Sorry.
They're separate, just because we have to be voted on separately for the vote.
Yes, a motion for the 2021 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All right, council members, Herzl?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Hewitt?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
Onto the consent agenda. We're going to make a motion to approve the items listed on the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All right. Councilmembers Bieber?
Yes.
Herzl?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Hewitt?
Yes.
Yes. So it's been approved. Now we're on to individual action for new business vouchers in the amount of $617,320.10. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve this voucher?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Councilmember Bieber?
Yes.
Herzl?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Hewitt?
Yes.
Thomas?
Yes.
All right, our voucher list has been approved. And we're on to mayor and council to make comments. Anybody on the anybody want to speak to these?
Mayor, just a quick comment, if I could. On behalf of the Administration and Shared Services Committee, we held our first meeting this month. It was very well attended. I appreciate that. On that group are Jeff, Kevin, Joe, and Chris. We reviewed ongoing activities from last year to make sure we kept the focus on anything that was key from the prior committee. We discussed priorities for 2022, and we narrowed it down to the top 4 that we want to focus on, we wanted to share with you. The 4 items first is data records and retention. As we're moving to cyber and cloud, we want to make sure that we've got a strategy going forward around that. The second is for personnel policies and procedures on management and oversight of the employees in town. The third probably touches a number of other committees, and that's around ordinance enforcement. And it probably certainly touches on what we just talked about with regard to bulkheading and everything else. And there what we want to do is understand what are the key ordinances that are out there, where we're having enforcement challenges, and what we want to do to try to deal with that going forward. And the fourth is around support to the school realignment campaign. Obviously, that's a critical activity for the entire town. And the Blue Ribbon Mayor's Blue Ribbon panel is all about that. So what we want to do is make sure that the administration is lockstep with the mayor of the town on the school realignment activity. It will probably, our activities will probably intersect with other committees this year, and we'll make sure we reach out to people when it touches their committees, and we will invite them to participate in that going forward. But overall, a good start to the year, and our next meeting is on February. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, sir.
Short detail. Yeah, we had a Louis workshop. I don't know if anybody saw the picture of that.
Yeah.
Louis that was down the street, and it was a good job of readiness and preparedness for the past few storms that we had. I know we got away easy this last one, but we feel we had a good job on the streets, keeping the sidewalk clear and stuff like that. So just thanks for that. Keep it up the good work. Hopefully we don't need them anymore.
Yeah, we really did. Great job. Thank you.
May I ask you to look into repurposing the recreation center, so the Elbow Hall. So we are working on replacing the lights that are, there's a couple of the big lights for the basketball court that are out with LED lights, and we're hoping that it's going to come in a couple of weeks. We had some vendors come in and look at the floor, because that road sandy, we abused it pretty much, and to have it stripped and redone. And Mr. Rooney would like me to consider pickleball being part of that, so that'll be part of whatever they propose. We'll look at other enhancements as well, but we'd like to get the building spruced up. In April, the Cub Scouts from the area of Monmouth County are going to use the gym and do their Pinewood Derby. So that'll be sort of like a kickoff of repurposing that gym for the youth of the community. Last meeting, there was some feedback about not being able to hear us. So I have called the vendor, and we're looking into either extending these microphones or getting them out into the area where everybody can be heard. And Frank was looking into that, I checked with Chris earlier. And the library should be going back next Monday to the children's reading, which they had pretty good turnouts. 30 kids come to sit in that room. I don't know if you've ever been in there, but it's pretty good. And that's it.
Just a couple of things on the consent agenda. Motion Board was very happy to introduce the contract with us for the court. We're pleased that things are working. We're satisfied with our police representation there, and with our prosecutor, etc. So that went very well. And just item 37, our fire department became aware that the Deal Fire Department had an ex-army truck, a 6x4, that was in very, very good condition, and they were going to trade it up, sell it, put it up for auction. There was a conversation about people, they agreed to donate it to Seagull, and that'll be coming in later this week. And when we get that truck in, they're going to take the truck, the army truck we have that has a box on it, take that over the freehold over the county, and the county's going to transfer the box from our old truck onto this new one. So I have not seen the truck, but the people who have said it's very, very good. And it's about 10 years newer than the one we're mature.
20. It's only half 72 to 90.
So, like I said, it's a nice deal. We're looking at it with the main people. Just one thing, just on the voucher list, there was these emergency equipment repair, and as far as equipment, it shows that 19,900, about 15,000 around the door came out of insurance. The accident of the truck, so the cost of the car was 5,000 on that one. And just, I think I called everybody, but in preparation for the bad weather we had expected coming in, the fire department ended up having 10 people staying here overnight, ready to man the trucks if they had to. And they went out on 2 calls for alarms and contract that and emergency set them off. Other than that, they didn't have to go out. But just to compliment to them, they had 10 firemen staying overnight in Seagull just to be ready for that storm.
It's great to look at that. Thanks.
Thank you, Carter.
Great.
Mayor, as far as the finance, insurance, and grants, I see a lot of aspects here. Appreciate the video. planning board email tag. I was trying to connect and appreciate you coming. We're about to win the budget season, and I'm going to be in the second. All the departments are coming in, etc. Our committee is giving Mike and his team some direction. I don't want what we would like to see, and I'm optimistic that we will be in a strong position financially to be able to look for ways to find additional revenue and also look to be certain that we are spending our existing dollars wisely. So to the team, led by Mike and his team, Joe and others, much more coming out on that. And as far as grants, I guess one question or thought that I would have is I see our engineers here, and I'm wondering if your organization might be a resource to us with respect to looking for funding sources for the bulkhead issue, both for the town and where we have culpability and for residents as well. A lot of money flying around right now out of Washington, out of Trenton. So I'm wondering if there are resources available to allow us to be able to help ourselves and help folks find the resources to make remediation whenever it is that we decide to have that completed, whatever time frame there is. So look forward to having a conversation about that as well. So thank you very much.
Years ago we had a conference to help fund the box at the street in downtown, so we're going to figure out those. I know it's timing and so whether you can find some also, I don't know if the buildings, Jeff said availability of ones for private owners. I don't know what money they might not be available.
There's a lot of money from the feds coming in too, from the resiliency money.
Okay.
They kind of targeted a lot of flood resiliency money. So I think that they tap into some of that in bulkhead project.
Yes. Thanks. I mean, for me, I'd say just to echo what Erwin said, the governor has yet to sign up the legislation yet, and we are still waiting for the results of, I guess, 2 other surveys related to school regionalization. But I did speak to the Highlands mayor today, and they did the mayors last week, and the 3 will be meeting sometime over next week also. Just to continue our conversation there, to keep all 3 governing bodies moving together on this. As we review it, we still have a lot of work on the front end to do before we get to a point of having public meetings and so forth. In particular, the other studies that the other parts are completing. But besides that, we are staying in touch with each other to make sure that besides our Brewer committee and our council, I'll be in close contact with each governing bodies along the way. So it should definitely be a whirlwind year, but hopefully we'll see how that goes. And what John said too, I didn't. I think I forgot to mention that reorg, but John's heading up the renovation, I call it renovation of the rec center. So it's pretty exciting. We worked down that, and we work with you over here, but should we get for that too? It's timing is right, and hopefully by the time 2022 is over, that is back in action. But aside from that progress, I know we do have one item on executive session tonight. So unless there are any other comments, I'll go ahead and make the motion to enter into closed session. I just want to let everyone know that this is pretty much the end of the public meeting, so we're not going to come back and discuss anything else afterwards. So with that being said, we're going to make a motion to enter into closed session.